Alright, so I tried the 8K streaming. That does not work. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, I tried the 8K streaming. That does not work. Not even close. Alright, whatever. That's fine. Just stream in this quality. This is still good quality. Get back into Genshin Impact here. Oh damn, yeah, when I left off I was here. Ooh. Yeah, I can't really beat this thing on my own. It was really helpful having those other people with me. They were good. They were good. But I don't have those guys anymore with me unless they request to join. Wait. Maybe I could check if one of my friends are online. I think I have friends, so let's check. Oh yeah, see they're both offline. Last online 1 day ago. Alright. You can only have up to 100 friends. Alright. Good to know. I want to go exploring where we went exploring the other day. Alright, where is there something I can watch? Like a podcast or something? A Fate Samurai Remnant. I remember that game. It's mute. Can't even hear. Can't even hear what he's saying. Oh yeah.
Hello and welcome to Lore Cattle Ranch. My name is Gibby, and today we're going to be going over Chris Chan's official website, officialsonicsshoe.com, which has been named Quicklight. Now, he did this entire project with the help of the creators. So we always have to keep in mind that things that are written on this site might be written with some little tongue-in-cheeky comments by the creators. For example, just scrolling through the main page, we're going to be looking at some deeper articles later. But just scrolling through the page, I found Chris is selling all this nonsense. But if you go down here, dating for dummies, Chris does not look very happy in this picture for advertising a signed copy of Dating for Dummies. We've known for a long time that Chris's ability to use technology isn't the greatest, which is why he had to use the creators to help set up some of his live streams and why he would occasionally stream without any sound. Great. So most of the technical stuff on this website was done by them, and so it's also very possible that a lot of this stuff was written by them. When Chris was in jail, obviously anything was happening on the Etsy store was creator, but now we don't know who's what. We don't know who's doing what. We just know that the blog posts are written by Chris. So we're going to be looking at the blog post and we're going to be looking at the website. Obviously what's on the main website changes and gets updated, so this is more like a snapshot of December 2024. Maybe I'll make it a monthly thing to come back to this website and see if anything's been changed. At the top we have scrolling text, zap to the extreme, the chillin' on his website, welcome to the next level, be safe and well with blessings, remain on light-powered paths and you will not go wrong. Doing good and kind is fun and right. Recognize when something is or feels dark and bad, so you can know to avoid doing it. Better intuitions are within you. It takes practice to know the better ones. I don't know how many of these there are. When in doubt, clear your mind and follow the default choice that is light and intuitive. Welcome to my store. Buy a medallion. Stay on light-powered path and choices. That's the extreme. Okay. Welcome all. I am Jesus, Christine, Weston, Chandler, Sonichu Prime. This is my website and occasional updates from me on that which is good. And featured are items available from me on the store. A blog, a section for fan arts, and more to come down the road. We've looked at Chris's Etsy store before, and one of the main things that was being sold were his Sonichu medallions. Obviously, when he was in jail, all the Sonichu medallions were being made by Prater. Not only do I not recommend you buy anything from Chris, but I remember when this was first happening, people were spending lots of money on these medallions and then becoming disappointed when they realized that they weren't made by Chris. Which, duh. So we see here on the left, handmade by, actually by Chris. Compare how this looks to how the one made by Prater's looks. Honestly, not only does Chris's look more accurate to his own, it actually looks better. Like, I like Sonichu having the big Sonic eyes. This is just like literally a better made medallion. And if you want it for that reason, it's actually made by Chris. Wow! For $80. Sorry, it's probably like a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. It's usually $85. This one has a Mega Stone embedded in it. Oh boy. We also have the comic series. Now this is only the first 4 issues of Sonichu. The problem with this, and I've actually talked with you guys before about whether or not it's right to buy these, because these are the only official ways of buying Sonichu comics. My issue is that there's no quality. When Chris was drawing these, there's no way that he left room in the margins for like the book to actually be physically stapled together. So it's very likely that on the inside, a lot of the pictures are not going to line up and be readable. I haven't seen any pictures from actually inside the comic, so we don't know. And the other is that it's only the first 4 issues. If you're going to sell Sonichu, it better be at least the first 10 issues, or really, I guess, the first 11 issues, if you're counting issue 0. So then you get the whole story, like the whole first arc. There's no guarantee he's ever going to do more than these 4 comics. So then, like, you're not getting the whole thing, so what's even the point? So, I don't like it. Too expensive, probably bad quality. Don't support people with Chris money. It's a whole thing. Yeah, even look, you can kind of see where the crease in the pages and cuts off a lot of art. Like Praters, if you're here to do anything, it should be making sure that these comic books are formatted correctly so that when you print them physically, they look right. Other things, spiritual talismans, a painted little mini totem. These are things you can get at Chris's Etsy store, which again I don't recommend. I know that Gino Samuel sells his own 3D printed Sonichu totem and also medallions. I think I have some back there. Clifford, who got away, Clifford? You're blocking them. But those are ethically sourced Sonichu merchandise where Chris doesn't get any of the money. Website exclusives. Exclusively only available on this website. These are unique items from my collection that I no longer need. A burnt Nathan Drake figure from his house fire. He just no longer needs it, guys. $75. You know, I've been holding on to this for 10 years, but I just don't need it anymore. I'm thinking of decluttering. I'm a real gamer, so I know that's actually specifically from Uncharted 3. Let's see what this is selling for online. Looks like about the same. If it's this statue, then yeah, it's like $75. So you can buy Chris Chan's burned, melted version for the same thing you can buy the real version for. More will be offered in future months as things are searched, found, and cleaned. These come currently from the Ruckersville Sonichu Temple as I clear items out. All are secondhand and used. So Chris is, I guess, physically allowed to go back to that location if he's cleaning out his room. There was the one really weird picture where he put up the Kamala Harris yard signs and you can see Barb in the background. I talked about that in my last weekly update. Although that may have been 2 weekly updates ago. This is very, very interesting. So first of all, Chris, I don't know why they got such a low angle on him. Not flattering. His hair's not even brushed. Caden, what are you doing? First Sonic the Hedgehog drawing by Chris. It's actually not bad and it's kept in pristine condition. This I can see actually being a collector's item. I don't know why anyone would want to bring Chris's bad energy into their house, but this is probably the only thing on, especially among these listings, that's actually, like, valuable. Like, I could see classic Jacob Sockness purchasing this for $1,000. Melted My Little Ponies, melted Lego building, and another melted Lego building. He looks very sophisticated in this picture. Melted werewolf on top of house. This is more Lego. Huh. That's sad. Okay, we got a bunch of burnt CDs that seem like they're not even his music. They're literally just copies of CDs. See, what Chris should do is make original covers of the songs that he wrote, like, back in the day, and then maybe sell those recordings. I'm trying to do a project like that, but obviously I don't have Chris's actual voice, so I have to use AI and release them for free on the internet, because I didn't write them. Because it would be kind of scummy to sell something that isn't my voice. But Chris could just do that, so I don't know why that's not a thing. Alright, now for the main event, we're going to be reading the blog post that Chris has posted so far on the website. So, this went up in September of 2024, so we have Welcome to Quicklight, September 12th, 2024. This will be my true and honest official website, nothing more, nothing less. On here, you can expect details and content direct from me, some of which will include corrections to a good number of the pages and details that are on other Chris Chan websites and YouTube videos about me, because they went off of what I said and written online, and what was recorded of me without my consent. A lot of the time, they do not have every detail direct from me. And moreover, newer content and updates about me, the media featuring the Sonichus and Rose Chews and all, and other relating events and topics, even some that may appear to deviate from time to time, as well as lots of other things that at the moment of writing this is not yet conscious to my brain, and I'll offer occasional guidance that will be more towards yours and everyone's self-improvement and well-being as individuals and as groups of good friends and partners. Keep faith and follow that which is good and light-powered. If you had any doubt that Chris was actually writing these, I think that should have assuaged those fears. Same day. Comments are accepted but moderated. Please keep comments appropriate and safe for work. We might have to do a whole special going through comments on this website, assuming that they're not all deleted, because the comments on his Etsy store were fire. 4 days later, September 16th, 2024, Sonichus, Rose Chews, and more. For starters, here are a few details in short that are not to be taken out of context, because there is more than what is revealed now. After the events in February 2003, after Kel earned the Quickville Gym Badge, and Nature first encountered Sonichu and Rosie. Kel, Sonichu, and Rosie. For 1 year... Okay, so... Nature first encountered Sonichu and Rosie. So after that, Kel, Sonichu, and Rosie. For 1 year, flew to Kanto region in Japan to earn the Kanto and Johto gym badges and take on the Elite Four teams. Rosie got angry for the first time in Mount Moon against the Team Rocket thugs they had encountered and thrashed out. Actually, Chris, Team Rocket disbanded after the events of Gold and Silver. Are you saying that that hasn't happened yet? Because you're telling me this takes place in 2003, but those Pokemon games take place in the year 2000. Follow the lore. Sonichu was able to get her to calm down and change back. Her clothes were ripped to shreds the first time then. She got her outfit replaced with more durability, and she learned it wise to undress when she could before she was about to really rage out. Why is he stuck on this one thing from his original comics? He wrote in Sonichu issue 8, which is the horny issue, that her clothes rip out when she has her lioness form, and the narrative beat, because this is actually something that I'm interested in, is the literary devices used in Sonichu comics. The beat is that the guy they're talking to is the head of the organization that consistently depicts Sonichu as gay and Rosechu as a man. So when they're fighting him during this final boss battle, she goes into a super form where it necessarily requires her feminine figure to be shown. Like, narratively, that's a narrative beat that's necessary. And so her clothes rip out because she's getting bigger. And so, like, it fits the whole, like, oh, you Hulk out so you get bigger, but also they're taking on someone who has denied her, like, true form. So it's, like, kind of like a feminist empowerment moment, I guess. And then she attacks him, and there's, like, this whole part that he is, while being battered, you know, looking at her physical body, but she's also, like, attacking him. So it makes sense in the context of that single battle in Sonichu that this happens. I don't know why Chris continues to have this happen throughout all of Sonichu history. Like, just say that she has stretchy pants like the Hulk, then this doesn't have to happen. And if this happened in February, if this happened in, I guess, 2004 now, if they're in Johto for a year, or Kanto for a year, then why does it still happen in Sonichu issue 8 with her seeming to not know what's going on, Chris? Get your own lore right. She got her outfit replaced with more durability, but she learned it was wise to undress, and yet it still happens later. That's what I'm saying. She has learned to keep focus and emotionally control herself. That's what all the women want to hear. They want to know that they've been able to emotionally control themselves. They moved into their new house after returning to Quickville, Virginia, USA in February 2024, and they end up finding Sonichu Adventure for Nintendo GameCube, as well as Sonichu and Rosechu plushes at a GameStop. They play through the games and find in the first few levels of their life so far, including when Rosie first raged out in Mount Moon, and some of their future adventures that later were actually experienced by them. Talk a bit about spoiler territory. So this game, Sonichu Adventure, I guess tells stuff that happened in the future. Sonichu and Rosie both learned how to become better leaders and fighters with the help of Christine Chan, his self-counterpart, so not the real Chris, this is the Chris that will go on to have 2 Sonichu children, Magichan Sonichu Prime, and from other inspirational heroes, including Link and Princess Zelda of Hyrule themselves. No, this is Darkmind Sonichu and Princess Zelina, Chris. Get your own lore right! Zelda gifted the really big book of prophecies and histories from Hyrule's perspective, since it also had prophecies about the Sonichus and Rosechus and the Ultimate Emerald, Master Emeralds, Chaos Crystal S2 Balls, and so on in it. In 2014, kind of a big skip there, Chris, like literally the entire events of Sonichu happened there. In 2014, Sarah Rosechu, Roberta Sonichu, and Christine Rosechu, Sonichu Prime and Rosie Rosechu Prime's daughters, went out on their own Pokemon adventure. Okay, so Roberta Sonichu transitioned before 2014, I guess. I think that makes sense. I think he was writing that comic around the time of his own transition, so that makes sense. Went on their own Pokemon adventure. Oh, wait, no, he didn't have the E. Went on their own Pokemon adventure all throughout the USA. 24 badges. 3 elite 24 badges. Unova, the actual real Pokemon region, is in New York City. And then Alola. Why can't I remember this? I think it's Alola. Alola is also America. Does not have gym badges. They have trials or something. And then I guess he's saying that there's like a Virginia region, so that's still only 16 badges. So I don't know what he thinks the third region is, unless the third region is Alola and he just has that wrong. Get the lore right, Chris. 3 elite teams, and the 3 of them became able to Mega Evolve after finding their respective destined Sonichite and Rosechite Mega Stones. Sarah becomes Electric Fighting, Christine becomes Electric Fairy, and Roberta becomes Electric Psychic. Robbie knew a lot more than you all may think and knew. What does that? Oh, because he's she's Psychic type? And they find the unique legendary Pokemon of the states, all 7 of them to summon the 8th legendary Pokemon. Interesting. So, he doesn't say what those are. I guess that there's more Sonichu Pokemon that we'll learn about in the future. Punchy Sonichu was hatched in Japan and learned, wrote, and spoke in Japanese, except he was named Punchai Sonichu, trained hard under the various self-defenses, including karate and samurai arts. He fought in many a fighting championship, including with those you know of in Street Fighter series, including Ryu, Chun-Li, and Akuma, and came out on top in top ranks. If he was in the realm of Mortal Kombat, he would survive and win as well. He can easily match the mock punches of the fastest Machamp as well. He had been summoned to Quickville by an Alakazam in Quickville's Psychic Squadron under Magichan's request before Sonichu and Rosie arrived in Quickville in 2003. Punchy is quite a metaphysical, spiritual, and strong warrior and individual. Magichan Sonichu Prime, the prime of all Magichan Sonichus throughout the multiverse, had seen a lot of adventures and development in his psychic developments. Wow. He had gone to the past, died and resurrected in a couple days by his own will and power, and come back to the present day he came from. And that was the first time that happened to him. It doesn't happen many times, but he always heals his body and comes right back within faster times. And that is aside from the respawn ability, with the generators within the Pokeballs linked to each and every special Sonichu. So he has talked about this before, where the special Sonichus can't die. They always respawn. Every special Sonichu, Rosechu, Metonic, Vamprosa, Sonny, and Rosie. Just as good as Dr. Wolf's respawn generator on the Team Fortress 2 field. This is reference to Analysis Anarchy, which is an old group of YouTubers who played Team Fortress and were also bronies. Magichan had organized the Psychic Squadron over a matter of years with the help of the city that would become Quickville. Magichan existed before Quickville. Interesting, because I seem to remember watching Magichan evolve and fart because Mewtwo helped him. And that was after Quickville existed, so... Robert Franklin Chandler Jr. became mayor of Quickville by godly divine decree and order around when Chris started going to Providence Middle School. That same order brought Chris to become mayor after he graduated from Manchester High School in 2000. Yet he still attended Piedmont Virginia Community College in Charlottesville, eventually relocating his education to PVCC in Quickville. Mary Lee Walsh and Count Graduan overtook the Charlottesville campus in August 2003. Blake Sonichu is further expanded, as well as the development of the relationship between him and Bubbles Rosechew, who we haven't been introduced to yet in this blog post. She gifted him a very special message engraved bracelet that helped him to realize that Team Rocket he was with was not the team to be on long term. Liquid Chris Sonichu was a member of Team Rocket as well. He had been there a year or two before he was out on the field spying on Sonichu and Rosie back in February 2003. So originally, Liquid Chris only appeared in later issues of Sonichu. Chris went and beat him up. He was the imposter in Brown, right? But it was retconned, kind of, in Rosechew's story that he was watching the Sonichus and Rosechews in his little lab, like an anime villain. And so when Chris stole Rosechew's story and retconned all of Sonichu, I guess he's saying that Liquid Chris was part of Team Rocket during those events, so during the earliest issues of Sonichu. I don't know why we're going into all this when he hasn't even explained, like, the rest of the Chaotic Combo, or even how Blake was cloned from Sonichu. Nate Cirque was a son of a rich family, but he left them at the age of 7 and was picked up by Team Rocket and adopted by Giovanni himself when he showed his moxie and, bad ways. Silver, Giovanni's son, was jealous, yet Nate Cirque managed to do a lot more than Silver could do. And lastly, for now, the Ultimate Emerald is a god-powered emerald, more powerful than the 8 Master Emeralds. It was the central power gem with each of the 8 Master Emeralds surrounding it like points on a compass, in a round orange, and is more elusive compared to the other 7. I think that's from a specific Sonic spin-off game. There's like an arcade game or something that had an orange Chaos Emerald, which I think Sonic fans can explain this better. Like, it being orange is a mistake, so now there's 8 emeralds because one of them's orange. No, I think it was because they wanted it to be multiplayer and they needed 8 characters. I don't remember. I'm not a Sonic man. But basically, Chris is pulling from extremely obscure Sonic lore and forcing it into canon because otherwise, what's the explanation of the weird orange Chaos Emerald? When the Ultimate Emerald shattered and the Chaos Emeralds dispersed, so did the 8 Ultimate Emeralds, with the green one ending up on what would become Angel Island with the Echidna tribe. And the core energy of the Ultimate Emerald ended up within the core of the one avatar of all existence. That's Chris. And the Ultimate Emerald has been restored within the past couple of years, from September 2024, and resonates between both the C1... So that's the day this is being written, so that's happening as of now. Both C197 and 1218 halves of this very Earth. The Chaos Emeralds and Chaos Crystal Balls continue to be about and do as they will and need to keep and restore order when chaos and discord is afoot. So those are, again, the Chaos Crystal Balls are the Sonichu version of the Chaos Emeralds, but then Chris took in the Chaos Emeralds to be canon anyway, and if you don't follow Sonic, I don't follow Sonic, it's kind of like the Dragon Balls, but they also grant you magical powers. They're little orbs that when you take them, if you possess them, give you magical powers. They're Dragon Balls. I guess the Dragon Balls don't technically, like, give you a power-up if you have them, but yeah, the little magical orbs that give you power if you have them. It's so funny to me that the S2 balls are based on the Chaos Emeralds, which again, Sonic-y people can tell me more about this, about the fact that, like, Super Sonic is clearly Super Saiyan, and then the Chaos Emeralds are very similar to the Dragon